Alrighty. So, finally bought Bandicam, and I've decided to give a bit of a look now that my 10-minute time limit's gone. But I figured the first thing I should try and do for what might be a longer than 10-minute video would be a sort of analytical look at one of my matches. For numerous reasons. I figure I want to do this because I feel it'll probably help lesser players. I'm not a good player. I'm just average, as you can clearly see. Get a good look. Just average. 50% win rate. I know win rate is all that matters when it comes to the freaking World of Tanks elitist community, but I don't care for them anyway, so there's that. My pal over there, Cheddar Cheese, he's only got a 48% win rate. And honestly, usually when I play, I'm usually platooned with one of my pals, so I feel it's a lot better to coordinate attacks, and you'll see that very shortly. Now, first thing to notice is I am in a distinctly average team. This isn't a good or bad thing, but it does kind of tell you what to expect, especially when you're taking a look at an IS. The tank names are actually colored in such a way that it shows their individual win rate with that tank. And then it also goes to show just what to expect overall with their other win rate, which I believe the IS was a 47% or 48%. Now, I'm trying to avoid him. He makes it a little difficult, and then Cheddar helps him make it difficult. It gets pretty interesting. But I'm faster than both of them. So if the IS would detach from my butt, there we go. Then I could actually pick up speed and he won't have to worry about me being in the way. Now, the enemy team, on the other hand, is kind of worrying, to say the least. They've got a very good player over there, several above-average players, a few average, and a few not consistently good players. But I've seen Reds carry games before, too, so you never know what to expect in any of these games. Why did I pause it? Wrong button. Now, the battle starts off with me heading towards the B0 and 9 area. It's usually a really good spot for a tank destroyer like this. I want to cover up my lower glacis, and I also want to be hidden. And it turns out to be useful, or a good thing that I had come here immediately, because we have a Cromwell who's currently outdoing our Comet that's doing our Cromwell. Now, I take a ding right there, and I've noticed that immediately. So I want to relocate, because this is not a good tank destroyer to be taking hits in. Until I got my Jagdtiger, I try to avoid damage as much as possible in my Jagdpanther too, because it's not a very... It's fragile. Very fragile. Then there's this. The gun is fantastic on this thing, by the way. And it is as it should be. You will be seeing tier 10s when playing in this tank. The gun is accurate, and it's deadly, and it's a dang good thing that it is. Now, I'm expecting the T-29 to come around, but the IS kind of pins him there. Then I spot this guy, so I take a shot. I want to keep this gun working. And as soon as the gun... Once you're in a position where the enemy can't really spot you easily, and you can easily hide if you need to, this gun really helps you rack up damage. It's really nice. Now, there is another tank out there, as you're going to see these IS find out, unfortunately. There he is, 719 damage. That immediately tells me there's an ISU out there. And the ISU is likely rocking the BL-10. So I'm immediately wary of that, but at the same time, there are targets for me to keep an eye on. And I don't think I've been spotted yet. Now, the IS just died, and the AMX 5100 is rushing out there like a lunatic. So Cheddar and I decide, okay, well, we got to cover this guy, and there's the ISU. He's coming out to take a shot. Cheddar and I both put a shot into him, and he changes his mind very, very quickly. And he goes back into hiding. This gives our IMX-50 the chance he needs to kill the T-29, so that's another heavy tank off of the field. Now, I'm well aware that Cap is about to be capped. But I want to kind of help this AMX-50 do his job. But we're being capped now. So at this point I tell Cheddar, he can stay here, support the field where he needs to. I'm going back and I'm going to go reset the cap. This guy here, by the way, this VK3002, if I remember, his name was Hellhole. This guy is a star player. He knew exactly what he was doing. I am so glad that man was on our team. Without him, quite frankly, we would have lost. Now, Cheddar's moving in. The AMX-50-100 is also doing the same, but he's going to run into bad luck very, very shortly. And Cheddar spots artillery. Now, the VK spots him for me. And he's gone. So Cap's reset. I know most of the tanks are likely going to be coming to Cap soon. And I have Cheddar guarding my back. So I'm fairly confident that this is a good enough place. I've got a spotter who is, again, the star player. This has nothing to do with me. Without him, we would have lost. There we go. Get another sight of somebody I'm going to need to pop. And I don't want to lose our VK. Our VK is going to be very necessary. Now, at this point, I get a little worried. He's rushing around. But I didn't realize the T-69 was such low health. And he finishes him off nicely. I congratulate him. And I believe at this point, Cheddar informs me he's in trouble. Yep. Yeah, that was me checking. So he's not going to last much longer. The T-34, one of their better players, finishes him off. And that T-34 is running a monster game. So I'm immediately worried about that T-34. I'm well aware of what he's capable of. And, ooh, hey, there's their IS. Conveniently not looking at me. Now, the IS doesn't seem to be running his top gun, but he is going after a VK, and he could still kill the VK in one hit. VK gets a little lucky, bounces the shots, and I finish off the IS, keeping our VK alive. Now, there's a Carnarvon and a T-34 still barreling towards Cap, and I'm well aware that my back is not secured. I'm kind of second-guessing myself here. I probably shouldn't be. What I should have did was backed up now, but at the same time, the ISU isn't the fastest tank on the field, so I'm not too worried. So here, I'm finally backing up. I'm going to try and get into a position. This position is fantastic, by the way, because it'll hide me from immediately being seen from behind, and there's enough tree cover in front of me where the tanks down in Cap won't be able to spot me even if I do pull the trigger. And my eyes are way up front, and I could see into the Cap circle. I just have to wait for him to spot somebody for me. And at the same time, I'm not taking my eyes off the map because I need to know when that ISU shows up. Now, that shot was pretty key. T-34 is now on low health. I believe he's still there, so I take another shot, but the shot goes high. And I'm pretty sure it actually went over his engine deck, otherwise I would have finished him off right there. There's still a Carnarvon, and I believe the Carnarvon knows I'm up here. And he also knows the VK's up here. So what ends up happening here is the T-34 will start capping, which is exactly the right thing to do. And the Carnarvon starts chasing after us. I ding off him there. I'm pretty sure I just ended up hitting a really bad slope. No, he's gonna come right at me shortly. I think that ended up dinging off his side. Now, I've lost my eyes. And I'm going to take one more shot while he's still in view. And I had thought that hit his side. It turns out it actually never did. That also dinged. And look who else decided to join the party. The ISU's back, and he's got a really, really dangerous gun. But I cannot risk being flanked by an ISU and a Carnarvon, or they'll chew me up. So I need to start taking action here. Come around. That ding right there was very, very important. It's hard to tell. I have two dinging shots off me. That first one, right there, I believe, was from earlier in the match, when I first got shot at, which I believe was also from the ISU. This guy, you're not going to see it here, I'll have to wait for this to clear up a little bit. There, see it? Right there. Oh, curse that minimap. But right on the right side of my tank, he dings off the very side of my tank as I was turning. That shot is extremely important to the end of this game. Hellhole notes that it's getting interesting. Now that I know where both of their tanks are, I can run back in. However, this is where the other player of the game gets in my way. And you'll see it very, very shortly. Now, the Carnarvon's going back to cap. He likely saw what happened with his poor ISU buddy, and you're going to see it right here. Look at my ping. Suddenly, I'm lagging, and I'm lagging really, really hard. And I know I need to close the distance. I have to start taking shots that I know will hit. And very few of my shots are firing when I actually click. I'm back to normal, but then the ping kicks up again. And you can see my tank kind of suddenly slowing. Take another shot. That shot hits the dirt. Now I'm frustrated. I'm fighting against lag, but I still know that T-34 needs to die if I want any chance at this. So, house is in the way. I'm lagging. Just get up there and take a shot that I know can't miss. There. He's gone. Now I need to get in close and fight that Carnarvon. That resets cap. I kind of have a stupid moment, because again, I'm frustrated, and I shoot at his top plate. Now he's still using APCR, and he's putting every shot through me. But now, my mind clears, and I barely win. And now you'll notice APCR loads up. Just as if I would have had another shot. If that ISU had not dinged off me, and if I didn't charge in like a freaking lunatic, this match would have been lost. And at the same time, if it wasn't for my spotter, this match would have been lost. Cheddar had covered my back for a period of time, and I'm glad he did. But I can't tell you what he had done wrong, because I wasn't playing as him. I can only tell you what I saw immediately. And if it wasn't for that, yes, my damage was 4,140 at the end of the match. But I didn't do a whole lot. I'm a tank destroyer. I'm supposed to be behind the scenes. RVK ended up being the star, and I just had to make some quick decisions at the very end.